Time for Unsafe Spaces Sports. And we'll sprinkle the infield in the world of sports, if you will, and we'll start things out with the PGA Championship, where most of the headlines around Brooks Koepka's win should have been Tiger Woods shoots 14 under. And by the way, some guy named Brooks Koepka shot 16 under, and he won. It was a very, very compelling tournament. CBS did an amazing job. The ratings were way, way up. You saw technology you've never seen associated with golf. That made it really, really fun. That 4D super slow-mo, everything else having to do with it. And all the better having a guy like Tiger Woods make the run that he did. But Koepka's a machine, and not completely unlike Dustin Johnson. He's big, he's physical. And he's not a guy you see a lot of emotion out of, but he's won 3 of the last 7 majors in golf. And that's something that has to be noted and applauded. Speaking of noted and applauded, how about them Atlanta Braves? And especially Ronald Acuna, their rookie, who has hit home runs. What was it, 5 games in a row with a home run? Well, in baseball, if you're in first place like this, and you hit home runs leading off all the time, there's one thing that's going to happen, and that's going to be in the 6th game. You're going to come to bat as the leadoff batter, and you better have your rib protector, your elbow protector, or some kind of protector, because most pitchers in baseball are going to plunk you. That means they're going to hit you, and that first pitch is coming for flesh, and that's exactly what happened to Acuna. But he is part of a first-place baseball team that, honestly, even the most rabid Braves fan would have told you, nah, come on. Late August, we're in first place? That ain't ever going to happen. At least not for a while. Well, you were wrong. I was wrong. Enjoy it. It's kind of fun to watch. In the Atlanta area this last weekend, we were visited by the Big Three. And the Big Three, it is a fun league. They have the 4-point shot. It's basically 3-on-3 half-court basketball, like back in the day. We're talking rec league kind of stuff, stuff you played at the park. But this is former NBA basketball players, coached by some of the all-time greats, and they really put on a heck of an exhibition.
Harrington can stretch out and get that layup. James has taken flight with 4. Children's 5 on the shot clock. Left hand blocked by Birdman. Oh my goodness. In the Q-Rich. There's some plays coming in and out of timeouts. Oh my, Amare. Here's Childress. Knocked away by Catino Mobley. Out to the cap. Catino Mobley going off. Al Harrington rejected by Amari Stoudemire. He said, give me that. Drops it in. Screen from Birdman. Drops it into Birdman, who dumps it home. Oh, the crossover. Oh, don't hurt him, Mario. Sean Stevenson. Good pass to the Mamba. I see you, big boy.
I love it. I love it. Still some pretty high-quality basketball. Like I said, you got the 4-point shot, and you even have kind of like Catino Mobley. There'll be an occasional gray goatee sighting in the Big Three, but it's very fan-friendly. If you get a chance, check it out. It's worth the time. Bring the kids. It's a really, really good show. Now, on the other side of good show is a game that charges full price for their practice games. The NFL. This is nothing new for me to say this, but that's a joke of a headline. The watchability of the 16 preseason games, there are none that are watchable. There are periods of time where you see some real football players play, but watchability? There's a couple things that are consistent about preseason, and we'll just run through some of these highlights and plays. And obviously, we're not going to show a whole bunch of it because you basically can't. But it's consistent in the lack of tackling, good catch, good run, or at times, in lieu of a good catch and a run, you might see a little bit of good defense. Hey, see? That's watchable. That's not bad. The problem is, you're paying full price to watch guys that predominantly aren't going to be in the NFL. But, that's not for me to decide. NFL is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and they did all that without me, marketing-wise. Good moves. Sad story, stuff like that happens where you see that high-speed wobble. That's usually not a good thing for the person involved. The most compelling thing of NFL preseason this year has been the new penalties for basically the use of the head, ducking the head. Now you're going to see that more predominantly called on offensive play or defensive players, obviously, though you see offensive players do it quite a bit. But there are some highlights here. There's my old team, the Niners. They're looking okay. They drew that one up in the dirt, but that's okay. It's against the Cowboys. But anyway, it's sort of fun to watch, but as far as just purest football, it ain't. That little thing about tackling, but you don't tackle in practice. And most teams, honestly, don't do a heck of a lot of drills, full-speed tackling in practice. So you save it for games, and sometimes it just doesn't work that well in a game. But there's stuff that is kind of exciting. When isn't that exciting? A strip sack for a touchdown? Patriot fans obviously hear the term strip sack and they think about last year's Super Bowl, but that's okay. You've won some. But there's another strip sack. But anyway, you get the point. It's it goes on resume reels. It goes on guys' highlight reels for their careers. But other than that, it's pretty forgettable stuff. And hopefully that's where it stays. And pretty soon here in a couple weeks, we'll be playing real games. And I can't wait for them. Because when they count, they're fun. When they don't,